As far as my education, my parents did not finish high school. I don't recall, they might have gone through middle school, but the fact, they had to quit school basically to help the family financially. They would go up north, I guess, to work, and so, as I recall, that's the reason why they couldn't, they didn't finish their education, and they only went up, through middle school. As far as my education, I was encouraged by my family to, they encouraged us to do well in school, and I guess part of me because of what they went through, I felt like I knew they wanted the best for us. So that is, to me, a big factor in why I pursued doing well in school and even going on to college to get my degree. I got an undergraduate degree I got a Bachelor of Business Administration.
And if I told you that less than 1% of females working in tech are Latinas, what would be if you had to think about that, why would you think that so little are going into STEM?
Maybe people tend to generalize that males tend to pursue those careers, maybe because they're better at mathematics, engineering, technical versus the females. But I say if any female wants to pursue that, I would encourage that person to do that.
Is how long did you work as a practitioner? So for a semester I was an intern, which is still a practitioner. I was a technical editor as an intern. I did that for a semester, and then I became a technical writer too. So for technical editing, I worked at an insurance company, and my job was to help update the policy manual. So I did that as an intern. My educational background, my undergrad is in English and journalism.
Okay. My
minor was composition and linguistics. My master's degree is in writing. And then I went to work on a PhD.
So I guess you didn't study computer science or engineering or anything like that. Anything really maybe very technical, but you did you have existed in this world still and worked with other people. I guess just from that point of view, as someone who's sort of been in it but has a special relationship to it, what's your take on it, I guess? And
I think in part, I don't have an answer. The short answer is I don't have an answer. But
right.
if I were musing on it, I'd say that women are socialized to care about different things, right? So if I'm expected to have a family and be a mom and be a wife and all that entails,
right.
It's not quite the same anymore. I think we're more egalitarian, but there's still a gender bias about roles. And if I'm expected to do that, and I'm expected to do the amount of, it's not an amount. I just care about different questions and different things. So I'm an academic who didn't have children because I didn't think I could. One of my peers who was in my tech writing program with me, Rec TechCom, she was in a physics class. Okay. And the professor, grad class, the professor went down and called the roll. And when he got to her name, he said, Mary, last name, she said here, and he said, I believe you're in the wrong class. So I think there's, I don't think it's to that extent anymore. And I may be older than you, but I'm not that old, that.
Yeah.
That was in the 90s.
Carolina, and I'm a computer systems engineer. I currently work for Dell. The reason why I got into STEM was actually since I was young, probably middle school is when I started getting interested in computers primarily by just playing with computers in my house. And not only just using computer programs or computer applications, but something were to break, or if there were component issues with the computer, I would actually open it up and just out of curiosity would start playing with it. Yeah.
And so, I guess, like, after graduating from high school, did you then study computer science specifically, or did you study something related?
I actually went directly into... Okay, so I should probably say that I finished high school in Venezuela, which is where I'm from.
Gotcha.
And Venezuela is very heavy in math, physics, and chemistry in middle school and high school especially. Those are required courses, or at least it was in the school that I went to. I'm not as familiar with, the whole school system here. When I started college here, I went to Arizona State, and I went directly into computer systems engineering.
Oh, so what do you do currently in your current position with Dell?
Okay, yeah. So I work in product development.
Okay.
And specifically, I work in hard drives. Each product or each product release is tied to a team. Mm-hmm. So our umbrella may be, let's say, 30 to 50 people. So my team right now for the current product that we're working on, there are 5 of us, 5 core members, or six core members, and I'm actually the only girl in the team.
Yeah.
But under the same department, this umbrella that I'm talking about, there's actually 2 other girls.
Do you feel like you kind of band together with the other girls, or do you feel like you more or less are like comfortable with kind of this sort of guys club like makeup, I guess, or does it feel weird at all?
It doesn't feel weird at all. I'm very big into STEM in general, because even when I went to college, I actually worked in the recruitment, engineering recruitment office, where there were a lot of K through 12 programs trying to encourage students from a very early age to actually come into engineering.
Yeah.
So of course, I want to see more girls actually get into STEM, just because you do see that big difference.
Like seniority positions or managerial positions among like the teams, do there still tend to be more guys in those positions, or are there a good number of women also in seniority positions?
There's actually our VP for our department is a woman. I mean, there's even diversity programs within Dell that try to promote. Like, there's even a women's group, for example. I've actually had discussions with one of my not direct managers, but one of the managers about women in STEM is an issue. An issue because there's obviously a big difference between women and men in these fields.
Right.
And we even had a discussion about how do we actually what can Dell as a company do to try to help promote that.
Right.
Where is really the issue? Does it start at family household where the family has a responsibility to promote that? Does it start at the school? I think one of the things that I can relate to anyways, that I think that works is promoting STEM at very early ages. Having that, and I'm not talking about strict engineering camps, because that's probably what kids do not want to, have to think of their vacation as, oh gosh, I have to go and learn math. But for example, the K through 12 programs that we offer through ASU, these are fun, exploratory, that actually gave the participants visibility into the different engineering fields, engineering and science fields, in a fun way, in a more
accessible way, I guess.
Accessible, but also real world scenarios. Like, yes, I did take a whole bunch of math in school, but to apply to relate that to real world scenarios. Yes, of course I use math, but not to the extent. So I think that's very important. I mean, these are programs that we offer since like sixth grade, students in sixth grade all the way to incoming freshmen. So I think that's one of the things that, again, I'm not very familiar with the school system here, and I don't know how well or how not is promoted, but that's probably one of the big things that I would suggest. And of course, I mean, in the household, it's important to actually encourage that and promote it. And then, so there's that bridge between K through 12, and then by the time you get to a real workplace, right? So then on the other end is what can companies do to actually help with that, and it's the same way being